I always say, check your circle, right?
Yes.
Check your circle. If you consider yourself an eagle, why are you hanging out with crows?
Yes. All the chickens are scratching the ground instead of flying and soaring.
Right, because they don't even have the capacity to fly and soar.
Yeah.
Because they're too busy trying to look for the mediocre stuff below.
Yeah.
And so even when you may have good intentions of trying to help those that are around you, it's not to say that you're better than anybody or anything like that, but at the same token, you also should know your worth.
Yes.
And so if you feel like it is dragging, because a lot of times we don't look at it as dragging ourselves down, right? My worth is being pulled down.
Yeah.
But you can feel a shift in your body.
Yes.
It is okay to say for this season, for however long that's going to be, that this is no longer serving me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you think that we have somehow looked at thinking as somebody that's egotistical, or especially when you're coming from a people-pleasing type of mindset, do you feel guilty for putting yourself first?
Yes. As a people pleaser, yes. And then I have to now question, why am I feeling guilty? And evaluate that, So, and maybe it's childhood trauma or things that we grew up where we were expected to say yes to everything. So when we take courage and this time say no, we feel guilty because we were made to feel guilty for saying no in the past. But as we grow, we change.
We should be changing.
We should be changing and changing for the better. And back to what you said about self-love. Even the Bible tells us to love others like we love ourselves. So if I don't love myself,
how can I love my neighbor?
Yes. But talking about what Imani said, some people know exactly what they want to do. For example, my husband always knew he wanted to do medicine. He wanted to be a doctor, and that was it. Me, on the other hand, I've constantly been trying to figure out, what do I want to be when I grow up? So it hasn't been a clear-cut line. But I've learned that, just like the scripture says, your word is a lamp unto my feet. The lamp only shows you where to put your next step. So for Imani, she may have schoolmates who have figured out, okay, we want to do dance for the rest of our lives. And she's trying to figure out what she needs to do. So her next best step is to do the next government class that's required. And put her foot in front of the other and be the very best at what's in front of her. As opposed to trying to figure out the final big picture, because we don't know the final big picture. Only God does. And how we get there, He alone knows. And there will be twists and turns and valleys and rivers and forests to walk through. And only later will we be able to look back and say, now this makes sense.
Complete sense, right? And that, it's confirmation, because that's exactly what I told her. So right now she's deciding whether or not she wants to transfer to UT Austin or she wants to stay in Texas State. And so, she got into UT Austin, but with the parameters or the dynamics of what was going on her senior year, she missed that window, right, to do that Zoom call. And so I feel like she's always going to have that, because that was the last step to get into UT Austin, right? That's the last, all you had to do was just show up. To Zoom. It wasn't a matter of, is it a questionnaire on whether or not we're deciding if you're going to be able to come in? And so I think for her, she has that, man,
what could have been?
What could have been if I would have decided to go to or if I could be on campus, or whatever the case may be. And so she goes, do you think I should try? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely, reapply and see what happens. But I think what's happening with her is the putting the cart before the horse, right? And so now it's like, oh my gosh, but then if that happens, then I have to look for an apartment. I got to look for this. I got to look for that. And it's like, stay focused. The first step is just reapplying.
Yes.
That is the first step. So when you talk about the scripture talking about, his lamp, right?
Yeah.
It's going to illuminate to you what is your first step, what is your only step that you need to make. That to me equates with life, right? Purpose again.
Yeah.
Just take one step. And here's the thing. We're forever, as human beings, we are forever evolving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Some people get the luxury to do one thing for their entire life, right? I look at my husband. He's been in the military for 29 years, and now he's out.
Yes.
And so he is having a hard time right now trying to figure out what he wants to do as a civilian.
Yes.
Because one, he's such a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
And then two, it's not the military. Because you know yourself when you're in uniform.
Yes.
You don't know yourself when you're in civilian clothes.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, even in that one line he has done of the military, he's done so many things in there.
Yep.
He doesn't realize that he didn't do just one thing, the military.
Yeah.
He did so many things. He did leadership, he did decision making, there's a lot. Planning, budgeting. There's a lot that he did in the military.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't just think of it as compartmentalized life in the military, life in the civilian world. Because those same skills apply to life in the civilian world. And he just has to figure out how to apply them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.